King Kong, hello. This is a video that I wanted to make about the art of rally and my favorite genre of games, which is chill games. To me, a chill game is it's a game that's not particularly complicated or difficult to master. It's just a game about having fun and completing objectives. That's it. Now, it's pretty close to what a cozy game is, but for me, the separating factor between the two is that cozy games are open-ended and don't have a set goal for you, whereas chill games have a set goal for you. In the Art of Rally, the objective is to finish first in the rally, or just finish. You don't necessarily have to finish first, and I don't think it really penalizes you for not finishing first. It's up to you. The car you choose influences the difficulty. You could have more power and get a better time, but it's harder to control, and it's something that I think is missing from almost all driving games, is that the cars don't really feel different. And that's why I like this one so much. The cars all feel different. Is it an accurate representation of it in the real world? Less so, arguably. But you know what? I think that's fine, because it makes for a better experience. Because for me personally, the last time I had fun in a standard traditional driving game was like Forza 2. Like, let that sink in. That old relic of a game was the last time I had fun. And I hadn't played Gran Turismo. That was the other one that I played a ton of. Specifically, Gran Turismo 3 on the PlayStation 2. But honestly, I guess they get better every iteration gets better physics, better damage, better this, that, more customization, all that, but it's not... They lose something each time they add in a new customization feature. Or at least I think they do. Because to me, those were chill games. Keyword being were, and now they're something else entirely. But the Art of Rally is different. It is an incredibly engaging racing game that doesn't bog you down with all of these choices that really don't change much and don't have a huge impact on the overall gameplay experience. You know, if that's what you're into, if you're into cars and all the nitty-gritty details, good for you. I'm glad games are going in the direction you want, but for me, it's kind of frustrating. Games that I used to put tons of time into are no longer fun because it's not about the core mechanic of driving, it's about how can I min-max this car. Which is a problem when you take into consideration that the way they simulate everything, if you have relatively similar stats on a car, they're gonna drive the same as something else with similar stats, which defeats the purpose of having different cars altogether. Now, I know that putting differences into cars is part of that formula, and that is where the variety comes from, but it's... At a certain point, they're not making a game, they're just making a simulation and selling it to gamers, which is fine. It's just... that's not what I want, and that's just You know, that was always the end goal for people making realistic driving simulations. You know, it stopped being part of a game design and started being, this is how we simulate a real world car. It is. I think I'll always favor and be in support of indie games like The Art of Rally because they make a game that is not only engaging and beautiful, but it actually does something different and unique, but it doesn't feel like they're lying to you about how cars really work. It feels like a game, and I think that is the most important thing about games, is that it needs to feel like a game. At least when it comes to driving games, for me, if it doesn't feel like a game, I'm really not interested in it anymore. There's a lot to do in terms of gameplay. There's exploration in the open world. You can go get to know every single road in the game. You can discover hidden secrets in that open world. And you can also race through every single year that they, did this sort of rally. And I think that's really cool, and something that I wish simulation games did, because there's really no reason that they can't do that, especially if they go through the effort of including rally stuff. It's just another half-baked feature, because the main feature of the game is racing on roads. And I think that's kind of the thing, is Rally is a very limited pool of fans, I guess, in the racing world. Because you can't put big stadiums around most rallies, and that means it's gonna get less attention because there's just naturally less money in it. And maybe I'm wrong, it's a little hard to know because I do live in the US and it is a fairly desolate, place when it comes to anything remotely interesting that can't have a stadium around it. Yeah. I think that's pretty much everything I got. So, Hinkonk, goodbye. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time, maybe. I don't know. Bye.